the way that I think selling's changed forever is you need really strong commercial acumen. You need to be able to co-create a vision and the business case for a client and help them gather consensus.
Welcome back, and I'm delighted to have Tony Hughes with me. G'day, Tony. How are you doing?
Hey, John, really looking forward to the conversation today.
Me too, Tony. The world's changing a lot, and I really want to talk about that. You know, this current environment of selling, and I think it's for the long term. You can comment on that. Really is throwing some challenges out. And how do you think it's going to be as we go forward? How should we be selling?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. And with what happened with COVID, that obviously firstly forced people to adopt remote selling practices. And I think people were very paralyzed in the beginning. They were just feeling that they were being inappropriate or insensitive in trying to contact people. And even when they did, people would adopt this hyper empathy approach. Are you okay? I just wanted to check in. And all of that's fine. All of that was good in the beginning of COVID, but you can't stay that way. And the reality is, I think professional selling has changed forever as a result of COVID, because what's happened is we are in the Great Recession. This is the toughest economic environment since the Great Depression. And although some businesses and some industries, have come or will come out of this, depending on where they are at the moment, quickly, the truth is for every organization, if it hasn't impacted them brutally, it has for their customers or the customers of their customers. And for all sellers, they now need a very high level of commercial acumen. Your ability or inability to build, co-create and build and articulate the business case with a client is, in my view, now the new normal, the new table stakes for success.
Tony,
yeah,
haven't we been saying this forever though? I mean, the fact is we have to be there. We have to have the right intent to help the client and to be able to be there to create value or help the client create their own value going through the sales process. It's always been the fact that we have to have good business acumen. We have to understand the customer's business and the industry they're in and be able to talk their language. Has that changed?
It hasn't changed, but it's become massively more important. And what I see out there in the marketplace is most salespeople use the term value like it's just a cliche. They even say, hey, I'd like to add value. Like, what the hell does that mean? It's just, the cliche of a salesperson.
I talked to my friend Patrick Bakusis, and he labours on this subject. We don't create value for the customer. We help the customer realise their own value. We help the customer think through how they might change to get more value in their business. We ourselves don't create business in their value. We may help them, and that's creating a bit of value personally. Do you agree?
I agree with you completely. Our job, the very best sellers recognize that their job is to co-create a vision for a brighter future with the client and the underpinning business case that actually funds, what they're going to do to change state. But the reality is most sellers talk about benefits, but they typically just bang on about their attributes. They talk about things they offer or things the client could do that may lead to some kind of benefit, but it's not really a benefit unless it moves the needle in terms of dollars, percentages, or a key result area that they measure in the business.
And so the need for a really solid discovery to understand the customer's business and then help the customer think through the key points that they'll be able to change the value needle in their own business and discuss those, not our whole product and all the features, function, and benefits. That's the old product sell that no customer wants to hear that.
No, and the way that I think selling's changed forever is you need really strong commercial acumen. You need to be able to co-create a vision and the business case for a client and help them gather consensus. And you can argue that's always been the case, but for boardrooms and the senior execs of buying organizations now, unless this improves revenue, improves cash flow, reduces costs, they're just not interested. So
reduce risk too is a key measure. I'm seeing more and more.
Yeah, but the reality, so I agree, but the reality is a risk-based business case on its own is really weak. Risk needs to be the happy byproduct of delivering in these other areas that actually monetize. So the thing for sellers is they just need to recognize, have to up their game. They need strong commercial acumen, and they'll live and die on the strength of the business case.
Okay, I'm with you on all of that. Personally, I'm not sure that's changed. That's always been in my mind the driving force on how to be successful in sales. What you're saying is, in the new normal, as we go forward, and it's probably never going to change for the future now, it's so much more critical than it has been in the past.
Yeah, it is. In any strong commercial acumen, you also need to be masterfully good at selling remotely, because I think that's going to be a lot more common as well.
Hey, let's get back together. I'd like to talk on that subject next time we get together. I think that's a great subject. How do we sell effectively remotely, selling from our homes like you and I are right now? Let's do that. Tony, it's been a real pleasure as usual. I look forward to the next time.
Thanks, John.